Hi guys, welcome to another show of Bobo on Battery. Sorry we didn't make a video yesterday, but at the moment I can still hear the Lahore drums banging away, even though I'm hundreds of miles away. Another amazing victory for them. They look down and out. But just before
That was calendar, mate. That's what it's about.
crazy. I thought finally the trend was going to end. Our
What's
bowlers
the saying? Just lower नहीं तक क्या जमिया ही नहीं है. That's what it's about, mate.
Well, the Karachi bowlers have definitely seen it today. But just a quick one about the yesterday's matches. The trend continues today. Multan versus Karachi. Multan made 195. Again, Rizwan in the runs. And Karachi knocked you off quite easily in the end with Babar Azam's sublime innings, anchored the knock, and Joe Clark played a really good innings. The second match yesterday was a bit of a disappointment, a bit of a damp squib, as I say. Islamabad dismissed for 118 against Peshawar.
Actually, it wasn't actually, but sorry to interrupt you. Shadab lost the toss, yeah, and he said we're going to change the trend. I think he changed to some other trend.
I don't know what trend he was trying to change, but maybe he's trying to, look. That's what you call trying to make things complicated.
But you know what he's doing when they're going out, yeah. One kept coming in, they just kept coming in with the hitters, yeah, and then eventually this will run out of gas.
That's the thing. I think what happened was they maybe had something planned for the evening, and he thought, "Chalo, we'll bat first, and we'll get everyone done with." But so yeah, 180 was never going to be anything for Peshawar.
Yeah,
also in good form.
I mean, they lost a couple of early wickets. That
happens. There was never any threat. So the trend continued, and today finally.
It was all about today was all the weekend was set up. I mean, it was a bit poor scheduling, yeah. I mean, last night I had a lot of Zulmi friends. A lot of my friends were saying the Yellowstone was back. We've seen so many.
We've seen this Yellowstone before. We've seen the Yellowstone before. They're too early and near the end. There's what they call toss.
So many guys message me. They says, you know what, the Yellowstone, yeah. You know,
we've seen this storm before. We've seen it many times, and near the end, yeah, it runs out of steam.
They were upset we didn't make a video.
No, by the way, there's no bias against teams. There's no bias. This is just the way it happened yesterday. But let's come on to today's game. Forget Peshawar. They won the game. We don't want to talk about them. We want to talk about this game. We want to talk about this game today. Just a quick recap.
Today was set up. The battle of the two left-arm spinners, the battle of the two left-arm pacers.
Yeah, the two left-arm spinners one to internal.
There's too many subplots. It's like a Bollywood movie. There's too many.
But we were waiting for but there was a Bollywood twist at the end as well. But with David Visa coming in. But we'll see. We'll talk about that later on. But people that didn't know what happened again. Similar trend. Lahore won the toss. Chose to bowl first. Karachi was a little bit stop-start. They say they got off to a poor start. They were 37 for 3, and a brilliant partnership between Sharjeel and Nabi.
Hang on a minute. You're giving the quick little thingy there. Well, boy, oh boy, was Shaheen Afridi. Oof, mate. When he does it, like this.
But one thing I don't understand is, if I was Babar Azam in that situation, when he come to hug me, I would have just felt like swinging that bat. What is he doing trying to hold him?
I think what it is. I think they're trying to win. I think they're concentrating on this fair play table rather than the actual table, mate. Because he did that. I mean, he did that against Afridi last year, was it, or the year before, where he said, and then he put it back. That's fine.
All I'm saying is, good job. Mike Dean wasn't there. Would have been a red card for him. The way he does it, he would have been springing it out off the pitch.
And it was and it kind of. It was a Jaffa though, baby. What a ball! I mean, but the best was that you skipped. The best was the captain. I mean,
the drop catch. I was going to mention the drop catch.
I don't know what's worse. Was Ajmal's against West Indies. Can you remember Ajmal went for it?
This was worse. This was definitely worse. He blamed the lights. He blamed the lights when the ball didn't even go in the lights. That's the funny thing. They just came straight towards him.
The best was he went like this and it went down there. I think, in fairness to me, I'm not making excuses. You catch them all day long.
Don't make excuse, Patrick.
I think he thought it was going up there and he went there. It was crazy. And then the worst thing was for her, Zamanto is like flipping Adrian, trying to tip it over the bar.
It was crazy. No, but that drop catch, there's no excuse. To be honest with you, it's a good job the team won. Looking at his contribution as well, that drop catch and obviously getting run out and the way he was running as well, not going full tilt.
I told you, Baba. Today it was 3 actual subplots. You got me wrong. Sorry, 3 plots. Yeah, Baba. 2 fast bowlers, 2 left arm spinners. Yeah. This is the worst thing. two fast bowlers bowling quick, two left-arm spinners. They won a bowl. One was forced, one over got smashed. We come off in the second. And the worst thing was the two captains, both of them did nothing.
Yeah, it was one of the. Yeah, I'm talking about. If we talk about symmetrical, when the Karachi batted first, they were 37 for 3. Obviously, lost the big wicket of Babar Azam, and then they lost the big one in Ingram. And the same thing, Lahore were the same thing. They lost the opener, and then they lost Hafiz, and they were 33 for 3. So it's quite identical.
Herbert, if you look at it, yeah. So obviously we're going to go through the matches thingy. If you look at it, yeah, Shajil kind of did something what Islamabad did. Tried to do yesterday, but more calculated. He still kept going. The thing, I think the turning point was when he brought Summit on. Was it Summit? Did he? Yeah, he brought
Summit on because the right-hander was on strike, and he thought, okay, let's give it a go.
Did he bring on in the power play? Was it the spinner? He did bring Summit on, didn't he? Yeah,
Hafiz came on in the power play when Shajil smashed him.
That's the one. And then Nabi came out. Obviously, they lost a couple of wickets. Who came in fourth for him?
The Ingram, that was a big wicket. Ingram got cleaned up. That was a great Yorker.
They lost Clark, didn't they? And then they lost Ingram.
Clark was run out. Yeah. So again, it's identical. Do you know how funny is it, Battery? Again, run out as well for in the first innings, run out second innings, both 3 down, losing key players. But when Hafiz was dismissed in the second innings, I thought it was going to be hard work for them.
Shajil batted really well. He's
a natural player. He just picks up that swivel very well.
It's a very. The thing is now, what is Bobo? If he bowls just short and his middle leg, he's got that, that clip.
He's always had that shot. He's always had that shot.
And then the thing is, if you bowl too short or wide, he'll cut you, and he plays 360 now. And
that's the thing. He's not been a typical left-hander because normally left-handers look for width, but now he's slowly improving on that, trying to clear the offside field. And if that
his weight, he's you know what I mean. I've seen his fielding effort, and it was a bit shocking. That was like
I saw that. With him, it's not a dive. He just fell over. Yeah, he just tripped over trying to stop the ball. There's no dive with him, but still he played exceptionally well. Nabi, obviously, with the help of Samir Patel's pies and Sohail's captaincy, he got well played. It was a good knock.
He batted
35 balls, and Christian chipped in at the end. And as he said, Shaheen was brilliant throughout, and he deserved.
You know how we're talking about how the death bowling's not finished. One thing I've realised on a lot of the teams, even from yesterday's matches, like Multan didn't really finish well. They're in a stage to capitalise, and if you got wickets in hand, you can easily go 12, 13, 14 and over at the end, Multan missed a trick yesterday, and it's even today. A lot of guys were getting out at the wrong time, and I feel they were 15, 20 short at one stage where they should have got to. But to be honest with you, I think Islamabad misread the conditions yesterday, and I think Karachi tried to go too hard a little bit. And I think even that total, Bobo.
Yeah, but you'll take 1-8 after you 37 for 3, lost 2 wickets. Then you take 187 any day.
I mean, Shaheen bowled class. I mean, the fact that they dropped Babar off him and that didn't cost that much.
It didn't.
And they dropped him. He made him pay. I mean, Shaheen bowled class, Bobo. I mean, we can come up, mate. The guy looks in serious form.
He's been in rhythm for in this PSL. Even though he hasn't got the wickets before this, but all the numbers behind him, he's had good rhythm. He's hitting 145
against South Africa and the Test. I just hope PCB, Bobo, give him a bit of rest. I hope they don't take South Africa.
Because we did the same thing with Mohammad Amr mistake. When he come back from the ban, we played him every test match, every T20, every one-day cricket. You got to look at sometimes if you get a test match, especially at home, and you play 2 seamers, I'll probably give him a rest in these kind of type of conditions. But go on.
Can you remember Shoaib Maqsood, the lad, the one who got the runs? Remember him in Scotland, against us,
Yeah, he's Wakas member or something, isn't he?
Wakas, that's it. He looked like Brian Lara today. Even I had him out.
But the reverse sweep came out. I just had to claim my team. I thought, who's this?
I thought, hang on a minute, where's this one come from?
That was a good shot.
Shaheen batted really well. I mean, he sent Amr off. He gave him a good send-off at the end, didn't he? But then, talking about how the match was, then at the beginning, I mean, Amr, I don't know what happened to him because that's 2 maidens in 2 days now.
Yeah, but the thing with this, the one that I was surprised when Fahad Zamati first ball played and missed, and the way Amr was pumped is like he's on something. I thought, what happened to him here? Is it like
as I said to you, I think Shaheen kind of with I don't know what it was. Obviously, Shaheen kind of played it in his interviews all with mates and that, but it kind of riled him up. And Karachi and Lahore, that's like how can I say? That's like It's sort of like a
Manchester United,
Man United, Liverpool, or like a big derby. It's not a derby, but it's a big rivalry.
Yeah, because
It
our
is
viewers,
Man United, Liverpool. Yeah, and you could see it was pumped. And he come in and he bowled a maiden, and he gave one run for 1 wicket of 2 overs. He bowled a brilliant.
One of them was a misfield. He got hit for a boundary, I think, in his second over or third over, and it was a misfield at mid on. The ball went over him. So Ahmad again, it's like again symmetry's there when Ahmad was 18, 19, he was before the ban, he was the one as well.
And Bobo was spitting and he was kicking the turf, and
it's good to see. Man. You know what? It's good to see this passion. The T20 cricket is all about that passion. The celebrations, people having that enthusiasm, and it's really good to see. And I'm really happy to see a few really good close games. So moving on, but again, they were 0 for 2, 33 for 3 when Hafiz was dismissed. And I was thinking at that stage, okay, this is looking like the trend's going to be broken. But I don't know if you remember, I said in the last game that Ben Dunk needs to be given time to kind of play himself in. And today, obviously, not luckily for the team, but he had the opportunity with 3 early wickets to play himself in. And at one stage, he was only 12 of 20 balls. He needed that time to get in. And once he got in, and Fahar was going from the start anyway, he was the way he was picking up length and pushing mid wicket.
You said that. Looking back at it, I know hindsight is a wonderful thing, but we'll probably touch upon it. Imad's captaincy, I think he missed a trick there not to give Amar another over. What do you think?
Yeah, I think. I know where he was coming from. I think what he thought was maybe that with himself, maybe potentially not bowling as well with the left-handers, and he thought if I use Amar now, if I'm not going to bowl myself as well later on, then I'm going to have no options at all. So he probably thought we took 3 early wickets. Here's an opportunity to get my less experienced bowlers in, get 1 or 2 overs out of them now. Then I can say for Amar. I can understand why he was thinking. And probably done the same.
Talking about getting overs out of the way. What happened to Ahmad? I mean, basically,
he got everything out of the way today for himself. He didn't even bowl a ball.
He got. No, but the weird thing is, Bobo, as we were talking about off air on this, and you mentioned a very good point. Yeah. There could come a situation, Bobo, and I've had it. Where you got 2 lefties. Does that mean that you can't bowl? Because the thing is, if you get that in the World Cup, what does that mean?
That's what I'm trying to say to you. Pakistan don't have an off spinner, leading off spinner. So if they have 2 left-handers in batting and Shadab's a leg spinner, Imad's left, one of them is going to have to bowl to left-hander with the ball spinning in. Obviously, fair enough, Shadab's got googlies, he can throw them in there. You're going to have to bowl someone.
The weird thing is, Bobo, normally when Imad bowls, he's not a left-arm conventional spinner. He brings it into the righty anyway. So naturally, that angle, I know what you're saying, but naturally, that angle, it could go away to the lefty. He should have backed himself.
I think what he's worried about is going that angle. He was opening up all the ground. He's opening up extra cover.
That I agree with you, Bobo.
As well. So he was worried that way.
Bobo, you're not going to know at that situation. So if you look at the bowlers, he had that Ilyas lad. He wasn't looking. He weren't economical. He had that Waqas. He didn't bowl his best.
Waqas is one of those. He has.
But what I'm saying is, he has a knack. I mean, he got Hafiz's wicket. You had Arshad, who's got a knack of taking wickets, but didn't bowl his best. He's lucky, very lucky. Obviously, at Nabi, he's very lucky at Dan Christian in his thinking today, because really, I mean, Lahore, they used Samit first over, and it wasn't even Shajil that punished him. It was actually Nabi that hit him out of the park.
That's why he bowled him. I think that's what Sahel bowled him. If Shajil was a strike, he wouldn't have bowled him over.
No, but then he bowled him the second over. Remember the over he bowled? He bowled that second over and he got the wicket, didn't he, of Imad? At the end, he bowled him the 17th over, 18th over, he had to bowl him.
Yeah, at the end. So I think that was more in desperation, I think, looking at the way that the game was going.
What I'm saying is, the fact that he still came on into it, it worked, but you'd still expect Imad to. I thought that was in the sense
I think what happened was Imad, there's no excuse for not bowling at all. I think what happened to Imad was, if Hafiz or Babar and them hadn't got out, if Hafiz hadn't got out, not Babar obviously playing on the same team, but Hafiz hadn't got out at that time, that I think Imad would have come on when Hafiz is batting. With Hafiz being dismissed and the 2 left-handers, he just probably thought a punt and thought, okay, if we take 1 wicket, then I'm going to come on. The problem for him was they got 100 partnership and he was always delaying it, thinking, I'm going to wait for the wicket, and the wicket never came. And that was the problem for him.
And to be honest with you, in terms of his captaincy, it felt like Wasim Akram was doing all the captaincy on the outside the boundary road.
I'm disappointed, Mad, because I've always had him down as being a smart captain. I've been impressed whenever I've seen him before.
I'll be honest with you, but I've not been impressed. I just think he's got class players in that team that kind of,
I'm not talking about Karachi as much. I'm just genuine. I've seen him a captain few other teams. He stepped in for Pakistan on a couple of occasions. I've always thought that he gets tactically gets things right. But today I think he was a bit naive. He was a little bit unfortunate as well, as I said, without wicket not going. In T20, you don't expect a bit as big a partnership as that happened.
You've been a captain before as well. You can't be a reactive captain. You have to be proactive. Don't wait for the moment, bro. T20 is so quick, yeah. It happens so fast, yeah. We've got time to think.
I'm not making an excuse, Patrick.
I know, but you
say, but what we have to do is people that are watching this, we have to try to give them a reason for what Imad did, why he did it. And this is the reason I'm telling you that he was waiting for that fourth wicket to go before he wanted to come on.
Yeah,
and the fourth wicket didn't go. And he made a mistake of blunder.
No, but you said that fourth wicket didn't go. It didn't go like in 2-3 overs. There was 100 partnership. That 100 partnership.
That's the thing. So he was thinking even more. It got even worse for him. You're right, man. It got worse for him because once he waited even more, then the two left-handers were set. So then it became even more for him to come on and bowl at a time when the batsman was in.
Generally, throughout this whole PSL as a whole, Safra's captaincy been very disappointed. Sohail's, I don't know what he's doing as a captain because Vabs as a leader has been very disappointed. Safraz, as I said, that leaves two more. Rizwan's been okay, but he's got certain calls wrong as well, but not as many. Although his team, he's been unlucky, but again,
and Shadab's not been great either. Then
and Shadab's not been great. You know what I'm trying to say? The general. I don't know what it is. If a lot of these guys, the guys that are supposed to be, they don't want the headache. Like Hafiz for Lahore is an obvious choice.
It is obvious. No, but then what you have to look at is, okay, this is where we want these guys to learn. We don't want them to be making these mistakes while they're playing for Pakistan. It's too costly. Obviously, PSL is very important. Every game is a very important game. But I'd rather have these Pakistani guys learning here under pressure as well, rather than making those mistakes when they're doing it for Pakistan.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. But what I'm saying is, but there's sometimes you make calls, as you well know, that don't tend to go your way. Then sometimes they do go your way. But when blatantly you can see something and you're not doing it, I don't know.
But out of this bet, you got to look at none of these. Ahmad is a little bit outside. I'm a bit disappointed. But the rest of them are not natural captains.
It's not about Ahmad today. To be honest, it's all about Dama Qalandars.
Yeah, that's what I said. That partnership was amazing. Incredible partnership. For her scoring so quickly allowed Ben Dung to get set. And even the rate was climbing up slightly. We always felt like if they kept wicket in hand.
You talk about the rate, Bobo. I looked at that rate and I was watching it and I thought to myself, Bobo, it never got out of hand. It never 12. It never got over 12. It was always 11, hovering over 11, 11, 11, 11. And they were scoring at 7, 8. Even if there was a couple of good overs that they had, Karachi had, but they were picking up the one boundary. They were always going for 8, 8, 7, 8, 7. And then even like going towards the latter end of the game, you knew the fact that he's got almost 2 overs left. That was his trump card, And then obviously you had the Dan Christians, which Dan Christian bowled really.
Coming back to your point, Battery, I think when Ahmed had 2 overs left then, when it got to a situation where this partnership was still going after 12, 13 overs, then maybe I would have thought about bringing Ahmed at that stage, thinking that, okay, there's a potential to avoid all this drama at the end.
I mean, everyone knows you got 2 overs at Ahmed, so, sometimes what happens is, Bobo, when you're in such a good partnership, even no matter if your trump card comes, it's not going to be easy for him to come in. They're seeing it like a beach ball.
No, but the thing is, Batty, what would happen is, if someone like Ahmed comes on at that stage, the batsman's planning would be like, they would have been planning for Ahmed's 2 overs at the end. So in their mind is, okay, this is how many runs we're going to leave at the end. We might have to take 10 runs off our estimate, get them earlier, because we're saving Ahmed's overs might be difficult to get away. If Ahmed comes on earlier, the batsman might get a little bit confused and think, okay, are we going to play this over out for 7, 8? Or are we going to continue our momentum? Even that confusion can get you a wicket as well. The batsman don't expect.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But this is going back to the point that you're saying that you're giving a reason. The thing is with Imad Berber, that he left it. It was too predictable. He left it right at the end.
He didn't react under pressure. You're right. He didn't react.
My point is that it's all good in T20. You've got to be a proactive captain. You've got to do things. Sometimes it doesn't come off. That's fair enough. But you can't just sit there and let the script roll out and it's going to come at the end. I mean, going towards the end, Dan Christian bowled a brilliant over. Cutters, experience, everything, and he got the big wicket for her, good slower ball, good catch by Babar Azam.
He's experienced cricketer, and again, to be honest with you, Dan Christian's a very, very good captain as well. I've never seen him in all around the world.
Captain.
So he should have gotten him out there as well. He should have helped him out as well.
He captained knocks out those to the
as well. To a lot of trophies they've won. Domestically, they've been very strong. Nottinghamshire.
He's a very good captain. He's played Big Bash. He's played all the leagues. Dan Christian's quality cricketer. He's a quality cricketer. Very, people. He just goes about his business.
Look at his batting as well today. He chipped it at the end. He got the 20-30.
That was again what Imad should have done, and Dan Christian covered Imad really well.
Yeah, but so then I'm a little bit disappointed with Christian as well. That maybe if he didn't get into, he knows T20 very well. He's got better instincts. He should maybe got Imad to bowl as well. He might have done. Imad might have said no. We don't know, but I'm surprised. So, but anyway, when the wicket went battery, when Fahad Zaman got out, written out 35 of 16 balls, yeah. And Visa hasn't done that much in this competition anyway. Obviously, Ahmed bowling, we would have thought there's a chance. But that 19th over, fair enough, he got two lucky boundaries as well.
He got boundary off Christian, didn't he, in Christian's 18th over, yeah? That one, I think.
But they did 30 of 12.
30 of 12, Bobo. Even if Arman gave 10, yeah, and two boundaries, 20 of the last over.
What can you do about the two boundaries? He got lucky boundaries at the start.
He did. I agree with you.
And that, do you know what? And that T20 is a game of momentum. Once that momentum swings, yeah, it's so hard to pull it back. He hit some good shots, but if them two balls, obviously the inside edges is the wicket or the dot balls or the single, it's a completely different game.
Does mate? It was Damada Qalandars. That's what it was about.
He was hitting it, and then it's like a stick cricket. He just picking him up over the boundary. I could feel the Karachi. You know what I mean? The AOI digital. I'm surprised they didn't turn the channel off.
They had the big boy in the house today. That little kid, Doctor, mate. Doc. They call him Doc. You know that little cute kid.
Yeah. He was there. No, but I'll do it. Obviously, we've got to be neutral, but I've got to say I was really happy to see Lahore win that game. I'm not saying anything bad about the Karachis. Sorry, guys, but I was really happy to see the Lahoris. They've always maintained that passion and enthusiasm even when they were coming bottom on the table.
It was bad. A lot of my family are Karachi supporters and a lot of my cousins, mate. I rang them up, they were crying, honestly, on the phone. One of my, she's only 12, she's a diehard Karachi fan, she was in tears, you know. So...
No, but so again, Karachi fans, if you're a bit upset, sorry, but it's a good game of cricket. So, Battery, the big question now is, what are we going to do about this toss? What should we do? Well, are we going to have like... I don't know.
I think it's going to be trending on Twitter, mate, because it's a trend and no one's breaking the trend. And you know when a trend goes in Pakistan, Bobo, it's just going to continue with that trend.
Battery, all my viewers as well, I'm telling you now, once the competition heats up, and once you get on some more used pitches,
you know this trend's going to be like. You know this trend's going to be like. You know Liverpool's home records not been breached for a long time, yeah. And then when it gets breached, it's just going to.
There's going to be another record happening where no one's going to be able to win by bowling first.
So basically, you know the home record, yeah. Once it goes, you know how Liverpool ain't won at home for 4 games. That's what's going to happen. Once that first team wins defending, they all. To be honest with you, but I think with Karachi, yeah. This part, on a serious note, with this part of the tournament being in Karachi, it's been sort of like you said, that same. I think going to Lahore is going to freshen things up. You know what? Bit colder there. See the dew factor, the ground.
The dew factor might make it worse for the teams bowling second. That's the thing.
So the spin. We're going to see maybe, but I don't know, mate. This trend.
Remember last year, Battery. Remember last year in the PSL, yeah, in Lahore, they had some proper raging turners. Where like Samir Patel is running through teams at the start. Maybe that's what we need. We need that maybe.
I'm saying this is what I'm saying. In Lahore, I'm expecting a lot more turning wickets.
Yeah.
A lot more turning wickets, yeah. And I feel because really this year, Bobo, you know, T20, you see like batsmen, yeah, and you see spinners are very effective. I see no spinners effective.
This has become a bit like that. This has become like IPL, and you know, like in Mumbai, the Wankhede Stadium or Bangalore when they were flat. And 190, 200, when you're walking off the field, you're thinking, yeah, we did a good job with the ball. Normally PSL.
Let's not talk about Indian wickets because the English are very sure about this subject. And I don't want to be on it for ages.
No one English fans. It's got nothing to do with being poor players of spin or not being able to bowl spin. We'll just blame the pitches. That's a good way out of it.
The wicket's bad. I just don't understand when the green seamers in England, Bobo, yeah, and then the seam bowlers are.
You know what it is in England, yeah, when you have to get your binoculars out because you can't even tell the difference between the pitch and the outfield. You're like, what's happening here? The English media don't see it then, but
they don't see it then. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. Honestly, man, I've been up to here. I don't even want to talk about it. It is, yes. for some reason, I think spin's not part of playing spin, or spinners are not part of cricket, or what is it?
That's what it is. I can see a new rule coming in from the ECB as well. Like, I mean, you're not allowed to spin the ball more than 2 degrees or whatever.
Yeah.
Some new rule coming in.
Yeah, now it's going to be. I think the ball can't spin. It's just mad anyway.
Yeah, it's one. Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about that. The 4th Test match is coming. There was a long break, not planned break, between the 3rd and 4th Test match.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of days.
I'm sure there'll still be day 5 today. I think I've lost count or what day.
I've lost count.
But there you go, Betty. So we'll talk back onto the PSL. Okay, Karachi, quick one. The New Zealand Australia T20 series. That was a fantastic game again. The second one, New Zealand won going into last over. I think they got 200 plus again, and they defended it. Amazing knock by Martin Guptill. What do you think of New Zealand as a team? They've been like, the nearly men in world tournaments.
They always surprise me. They've got a boy from our league, and they used to play with us.
Oh yeah, Conway,
go player, mate. Go player.
Yeah. No, but what do you think about them? Obviously, everyone knows what happened in the 2019 World Cup final, and they got to 2015 final.
That's a touchy subject to my heart.
Oh, yeah, but whatever happened, the rules, whatever, they won the game.
England never won the World Cup. I still stand by it. I'm sorry, English fans. You drew that game, and you were given the trophy to take a picture with. Unfortunately, the umpires got it wrong. Yeah.
Okay, but we can't talk. Come on, that's 2 years ago now. Whatever. We got a few England fans that are going to get a bit upset. But I'm saying, okay, what do you think about? We'll have a proper show anyway, talking about the T20 prospects for certain teams. I think next one we're going to focus on Pakistan. Obviously, we know a lot about them, what's happening. But New Zealand, what do you think about them? Their chances? I know it's India. They haven't got the strongest spinners. But what do you think about the chances in the World Cup?
They're a team that's got a very versatile team. They've got a captain, Cool Williamson, who assesses everything. They're a dangerous team. Last time they had a good. We got what you got to do is it depends where we're talking. If we're talking specifically about India, in India, you've got a good
India. That's where the next tournament is.
I think the key is going to be their spinners. And I'll tell you what.
Are Satna and Sodhi good enough?
Well, they were good enough last time when they beat India, defended 112. Can you remember?
I think that was. Let's do what English do. We blame the pitch for that one. It was spinning too much.
No, they're a good team. They've got some very good seamers, but like you said, the key is the spinners. Sodhi and Santner, they're the keys. They are very important. That's what's
they're very experienced now as well. They played all around the world as well now.
The batting, they've got. You've got Guptill, you've got Williamson, you've got Conway,
you got Munro as well, power hitters, and then you got Newsham, the Grondon, which gets fit. Even Santner can clear the boundaries.
Why is Grondon? Is he injured these days?
Grondon's got an injury. I know he missed those Pakistan Test matches because of injury as well. So I think they're gonna ease him back, and he'd probably get him a few games in before the T20 World Cup. So we've talked about New Zealand. What about Australia? Quickly, before we finish, Battery, what about Australia? They seem like to be a team that, again, they're in a bit of... they're in a bit of a transition. They're a bit confused with the selections sometimes. When I look at them, they don't know what to do.
Again, their spin department, what they got? Zampa.
Zampa is reliable, but then you can't... Zampa, fair enough, but you can't have Maxwell as your second spinner. And Agard is not reliable. So again, I don't know where they're going to go. If they're just going to do bits and pieces and try to get 4 overs out of Maxwell and Agard, or if they're actually going to pick a front line second spinner, someone like Nathan Lyon, I don't know. But to me, they seem like they're still kind of working out their combinations. But you can't write them off, Betty, can you? Especially with the firepower with the bat.
We're doing a show on this. Going, like I said to you, to me, the teams to beat is going to be India.
We'll talk about the rest. I said we'll do a proper show. We talked about. I thought it'd be fair to talk about Australia because we just mentioned New Zealand and Australia series. So Australia, do you give them a chance at the moment or not of winning the T20 World Cup? Yeah,
I think they'll get there or thereabouts. Just with their sort of they are a top quality team, but I can't see them winning the World Cup.
That's fair enough. So, okay, thank you, guys, everyone, for again listening, watching. The Lahoris are still going. I can hear them. They're still blurred. Their drums are still going in the Punjab. So,
guys, please show your support. Like and subscribe. Do the usual stuff. Click the bell icon to get all the notifications. Yeah. Please show us your support.
And someone click the bell icon in the Imad Wasim as well. Tell him that he's meant to bowl. He's playing as a bowler. All right.
Take care, guys. We'll see you soon.